Yay! Liam and I are back for part 21 of I Want to Be the Co-op.
That we are. That we are.
And if you can sense our collective lack of enthusiasm, you'd be bang on the money. We've spent God knows how long on this boss. It's starting to annoy the hell out of us. It's at least 3 months since we last posted a video on this. We had various issues where we actually lost our save file as well, which was also really fun.
But Nemega was kind enough to give us a new one. So
yes,
just a note to those of you guys who are playing this game, at least of the, I'm not sure of the whether or not this is true of the current version. But you can't have multiple save files, so don't try and do that. Otherwise, you will lose your data. Yes,
we started up just after the new year, and I think found ourselves at the midway through Area 2.
Yeah.
Came as quite a shock to us.
As for being annoyed, with this boss, I'm not. To be honest, I'm not even annoyed anymore. I'm just kind of apathetic. I'm sick of seeing this thing. And I think Musto, you share the same kind of. I'll let you speak for yourself.
Yes, well, so before we get into it too much, we have a bit of a rant, and I won't keep the intro too long. But I kind of felt like we should both try and get through, or we should both try and get through as much of the boss as possible. But the likelihood of both of us surviving all the way through I think it's just become evident that it's just almost never going to happen. So I have actually managed to deal the final blow to this boss. I then stopped, and then we sort of just reset, and we tried a bit more to see if we could kind of get us both kind of through, but it's just not going to happen. So I think at this point in time we're so fed up with it. Unfortunately, this boss, not the rest of the game, and we will do a sum up when we finish the game, because I don't want this boss to taint. Yeah. And I'm sure you share the same view, Liam, to taint sort of the fun we've had in the rest of the game. But at this point in time, we're so sick of this fight that we just want it out, done and out of the way, and we can move on. We can finish this project and move on to other things.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to make that clear. For me, my experience with this boss and my experience with this game have been two very separate things. I've really enjoyed co-op, especially, I think just playing through this game with you, Musto, has been a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely,
I've loved the platforming. Everything up until this point has been great. This boss, however, has just been, it's just been miserable. It's not even been annoying. It's just been, we've been coming at it week on week, and it's just been, oh, here we go. Shall we play some co-op tonight? Yeah, okay. And for me, it's just got to a point where I'm only playing out of obligation to get this LP done. It's kind of ceased to be fun, which is a shame. But unfortunately, that's kind of where I'm at with this boss.
Yeah, I think sort of same here. So that's probably enough of an intro. So we can probably just so we don't sitting here ranting for sort of like. I should actually show this off as well, because it's been 3 months. So Dementio, final boss from Super Paper Mario. There's the intro. And that's the most fun we're going to have all evening.
So is it bouncing star attack, which is quite random. I haven't played this in a while, actually. It's been at least, three weeks since we played this?
I cannot remember. It's been quite a while, but yeah. And before we get into too much, I'm just going to sort of see how this first go goes, because wouldn't you bloody know it? Yeah, well, unbelievable. First proper go, we've actually beat the first phase there and then. Don't expect that to happen that often, but yeah, wouldn't you just blimmin' know it?
That should be an indicator, though, of how much we've done that.
True, yes. Oh, and so what we've also said was that we will, just so that we're not, one of us is sort of slogging through, I suppose, too much, is we said that this boss has 5 phases. This is the first one, you've seen the second one, which is Dracula. So we sort of made a pact to say, if either of us die before we finish Dracula, then we will restart. But beyond that, it's we'll just carry on, and we'll try and beat it solo if need be, because I say if we try to have us both survive, we're going to be here for we'll be here for ages. Seriously, we've been going at this since.
We've already been here for months trying to achieve that, and so
yeah, I think, and we're just at the point where we've said quite a few times now, just sort of let's just get it done. So this first phase. Do you want to talk about the stars, because you are not a fan of stars?
Although, well, he says get killed by it. For me, in fun games, I find bouncing objects particularly difficult. These stars are, they're pretty damn random. They bounce, so definitely not my favourite move. Although, the move that took me the absolute longest to get down was his final move that he does, and I still haven't got it consistently. And the only thing is that I switch up between two strategies. That's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this attack here is... Oh. Go on.
I don't think there's really much that needs to be said. I mean, it speaks for itself. It's just this kind of uncertainties with this fight, at least. Right, okay. I need to sit down. Give me a sec. Sit up. There we go. Right. One more workable position.
And so anyway, I guess we should talk a little bit about it. So this first one, it has 3 phases. So I think maybe next time we die, we'll start off and talk about talk about. Well, there we go. We'll describe the moves as they come. So this sort of goes. The sort of spread shot attack is okay, I guess, but if he's sort of done in conjunction with the stars, it's an enormous pain.
I think it really depends on where he does it and where you're at. Like, if you're in the kind of pot.
I can't do that phase now either.
Right, he says, die this way. I kind of want to be over here in this left corner for that move.
Yes. I can't get there, particularly on the first, because I'm further over to the right-hand side of the screen when I spawn in, so I have to sort of dance around in the middle to avoid that, which is not too bad. As I say, I don't mind it as his first attack, simply because we've done this so often that I've kind of got a feeling for where I need to be first off, should he do it. This one is just the randomness of all random moves possible. The stars, they come down from the sky, they are bounce, they are random, and sometimes they seem to give you absolutely no room to dodge them. And as for his third attack, which is by far the easiest to avoid, he basically... Wow, I need to stop dying on that attack.
There's two ways I do that attack, and I need to decide on one of the ways and stick to it. But unfortunately, when I panic, I revert back to an older strategy, which is not as reliable.
Wow. I'm playing terribly. This is his third attack before he sort of becomes hittable. So he just creates a sort of a vortex in the middle, and these sort of energy spheres or energy things circle sort of round him. It is by far the easiest to dodge. That being said, he can sometimes create some ridiculous patterns, but of all 3, that one is by far the most lenient and easy to avoid.
You are actually being dragged as well to the right, or towards the black hole monster again. May not be evident in the video.
Yes. So if I survive this, I will stop. In fact, I'll do it now anyway. There we are. So I'm not pressing anything, but I'm literally being dragged along. You get sucked into the vortex or black hole, whatever. But as I say, provided you're on the left-hand side of the screen, you get enough. 99% of the time, you get enough time to react to the energy pellets or energy things that come in from the left-hand side of the screen. So and this attack can be a hell of a thing. And that's only the second time we beat it. Right. So after the first go where we beat it, we hadn't actually yet beaten it again up until now.
I hate dying on attacks that I know I can dodge.
that brings us to Dracula, and we'll talk more about him when we get there again, which hopefully won't take as long as it did between getting to him between the first and the second time. Really? Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, his final attack of this phase, I feel like I've got a rhythm down, but I'm still sort of dying much more frequently than I would like to on this bit. But yeah, it is kind of awkward, and yeah, and I'm failing terribly.
Myself with the final attack because I know a rhythm that works, but I don't do what I know I should do. Hard to explain.
I sort of end up being just sort of to the right of his health bar at the top, and sort of end up just. It tends to be that you can just sort of jump, not exactly vertically up there, but for me anyway, the pattern just sort of seems to work out really nicely when I do that. So. Maybe just demonstrate very quickly here. So if you sort of move back to the left to avoid the stars as well. But yeah, there seems to be this sort of area right here where you can just jump vertically and avoid the stars. But it seems it's probably different for both of us on our screens. So one pattern may be really nice for one of us, and sometimes it might be really awkward for the other one. They're certainly not the same for both of us. So yeah, it's difficult for us both to get through that.
People must go right. Traditionally, when I first started fighting this boss, my strategy was to run to the left, because the next moves are kind of they all cluster to the right. But left, a little bit safer. I need to stop talking.
Well, here we are at Dracula again, and I'm going to sort of position myself a bit further over to the right-hand side than I would ordinarily. But that's just to try and keep Liam and I separate so that we don't sort of confuse each other's characters and just make things hopefully a little bit easier for us. Because, yeah, the worst thing in the world is confusing characters. Okay, this is a very good set of moves. And, yeah, well, okay, so we're not going to talk about Dracula now for the moment. I'm sure we're not going to make it this go, so we'll get to talk about Dracula again. But here we are, Phase 3. And I say, if one of us dies here now, we will carry on.
Stars in the sky, right? He's doing Hadouken, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, he is.
And it's Bright and Shine from Magnanimity, which is okay, and I quite enjoy, but if he does certain moves in certain times, and that's absolutely terrible, unfortunately. Although, funnily enough, the sun went right to the middle of the screen there and wasn't completely ridiculous. So I will take that gladly. Hopefully I get to talk about Sun and Moon at some time, or Bright and Shine at some point in time as well. So now we're on to Avoidance.
I hate this bit.
And after 3 whooshes, I go to the right. And then after 6, which is now, I go to the right again. And everything seems to work out rather nicely. Now we just have to avoid this, which, believe me, I've died to way too many flipping times. 3rd phase done. And that brings us to possibly one of the easiest phases. He says as he really hopes he doesn't die embarrassingly. Boshy! So this bit's fairly self-explanatory.
I wish it's possible.
Oh my goodness! I have my head in my hands, I'm leaning back on my chair, I want to, frankly, shoot myself with a pellet gun. I cannot believe I just died to Boshy.
Oh dear.
Oh, good grief. If I'm dying to Boshy...
Best of the LP, right?
Oh god, I don't believe I just died to Boshy. That's bad. At least it'll get us a bit more, give us a bit more time to talk about some of the other phases. But Jesus, terrible, absolutely atrocious. Okay, let's talk about Dracula. He has 4 moves. He can do them. Well, he never does the dogs and the bats last. Other than that, he can do the other 3 in any of the 4 in any order he wants before they loop round. And yeah, they are. None of them are that bad, but so dogs and bats now. He never does that one last. But he can just create patterns that are garbage. And this is a wonderful last move because it's reasonably straightforward to dodge at the beginning. And with both of us firing away really quickly, we don't get to the really difficult bit of it. Again, I'm sorry, we didn't really get to talk too much about Dracula there, but yeah. Oh well. We're actually doing surprisingly well on Dracula. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, that's terrible. In the middle, that's terrible. Hopefully we get to describe it a bit later, but yeah, bright and shine. Don't want them in the middle of the screen. That's bad.
I hate dying on that move. Dying on certain moves just annoys me. Because I've done it so many times, I should not be dying on it. I don't mind dying on stars.
I'm still reading from my Boshy desk. Seriously, that's... Oops. Oh. Yeah, the problem with this first phase as well is with the stars, this move and the final one, it's just you just end up doing it so often it just becomes tedious. I think once we sort of get to Dracula, we sort of both agree that it actually starts to become, I don't know if fun is still quite the right word, but given the number of times we've done it, but once you get past the first bit, it's a bit more tolerable.
I much prefer many of the phases to this first phase, and this first phase isn't even trouble, but I'm just tired of seeing it.
Okay, so dogs and bats, pretty self-explanatory. Just yeah, do your best to avoid them and hope you don't get screwed over by nonsense patterns. He has a nasty habit of creating a wall of bats on occasion. Okay, good. Some join-up success on the first phase will be wonderful. Oh, dogs and bats again. Great. Just as I want to talk about a different move, you do that one again. Okay.
Like, a move that I find most frequent in Dracula.
Yeah, so the ones that come down from the sky are easy enough. The fire waves are usually easy enough. And unfortunately, the meteor one is the most one of the most annoying random ones. And unfortunately, doing bats cycling round after he's done the meteor one is not good. But we managed to kill him before we got too far through again.
Okay, stupid. Right.
Okay, so do not jump to the middle.
Oh, just stop.
I'm in a terrible position here because you forced me all the way to the right-hand side of the screen. Thanks. You just dashed twice. What? You should not do that. You have 4 moves, and you do 1 of each. Why did you dash twice? That's weird. He should have 4 moves that he does. Yeah, he does what? He does them all, and yeah, all 4 moves, 1 each. I don't know why he dashed twice. Since I survived, I'm not going to complain, but...
We've not actually seen this boss soon, so we've downloaded the update.
Okay. Yes, it is Boshy time again. Let's not mess up, hopefully. Right, this one is... admittedly, this is the one that would get me, if anything, because you can shoot these ones in an awkward pattern, so yeah, if I were going to die, that would be the attack that I would die on. If I died on the other 2, I'd be... yeah, don't know what I'd be doing, but yeah. And now we get the tedious bit of the fight, which is just basically waiting for...
Spikes.
Spikes, yeah. thing about it is, though, I am never going to take any unnecessary risks. There is absolutely no point to it. This should be, provided you're not like at the top of the screen and obviously a spike comes down sort of like right on top of you so that you don't have time to react. This phase is just, you know, take as long as you need to. In some ways, it's good to have like a breather after all the other three, but I see. But with patterns like this, where I'm just not getting the spikes sort of coming down to the point of view where I can actually get up and hit him, it does become tedious. But as I say, just take as much time as you need to on this phase.
Okay, to give a bit of time frame to this one, once it gets here, I usually go to my screensaver about twice on Saturday watching them.
Whoa! Okay, shield's gone, so hopefully only a couple more hits. Or indeed maybe only one. And I missed. Fantastic. It took so long the music looped. Now, I guess I could have obviously gone over to the right-hand side of the screen here to, thankfully, finally. Right, forget that. Let's just concentrate on this. Dark Boshi. Good. Right, we'll stand about here. This should be safe. And then we'll get some circling shurikens. And I've stumbled upon a good strategy, and that is to sort of be toward the edge of the screen. I hate trying to hit these, and I'm probably going to die here because I'm so slow. Oh no, I just survived. But if you're at the edge of the screen, you can shoot sort of bullets quicker because they'll disappear off screen, and you won't have to sort of worry about a limit. So yeah, that would be my technique for that, or strategy for that one. Get to the edge of the screen. That seems to work best for that. As for this, just yeah, do your best really. All these shurikens come circling in, doing all manner of things, and yeah, it's part of it is sort of being familiar with the pattern. This is all makes me really, really nervous. We're at the final phase.
Yep.
Right, move to the left. Get in between those things and move to the left again. That should be that done. Now we have a sort of a throwback to Mecha Sonic with these projectiles, or these bombs, if you will, coming down from the ceiling, so just stay out of the range of them. Now we're going to have a laser attack. There is a laser at the top of the screen, so and a laser at the bottom, so just yeah, get in between the two. Hopefully don't rise too high. Oh my god, the laser went away! Seriously, that's it. From that point on, I can then hit him. The laser literally went away less than, I would say, half a second after I dropped down. I was just ever so slightly too late. We could have been done. Unfortunately, we're going to have to suffer through more of this. Oh. But it kind of says something when I feel like the toughest phase, or the easiest phases, end up being the last two. Like Boshi, Dark Boshi, and the final part of Dimentio. I feel like, yeah, the hardest phases come at the beginning. Which is really weird. And we're probably already run out of things to say, unfortunately. Probably try and describe moves from Dracula onwards again once we get to them, but yeah, this it can take a while to get up to past that point again, and yeah, particularly this first phase is just it just becomes tedious. It's about the best word I can use to describe it. And he's done a terrible moveset, because ideally we do not want to see the ones down from the ceiling and this one twice, because he will have to go through. He has to go through 3.5 phases before we can actually hit him. And unfortunately, his last two are the dogs and bats and the meteors, which don't always give the best opportunity to be able to hit him.
Hit me!
And I'm dead. And yeah, that meteor one, kind of irritating. If the horizontal ones are a bit off the ground, it certainly makes things easier, because you don't have to then jump over them. But yeah, the arcing stuff, bouncing and arcing things, two of my least favourite things. Don't know about you, Liam. Sounds about right as well.
Yeah.
So first off is not too bad, I guess. Oh, I do not want to see that after that. Okay, bats.
Ah!
Ugh. Wow, that would seem to go by amazingly quickly. Okay, in theory, a decent first move. Not the dogs and the bats. Are you joking me?
Do that. Oh gosh, what am I doing?
Okay, ceiling. Damn it. Well, I guess this isn't.
No! Oh, I was for it!
Oh. Great.
Seriously, like, I can play this boss for maybe a quarter of an hour and have something that resembles fun. And I just hate it. So that's funny. I just want to, yeah, I just don't want to see it anymore after that much time.
I think we've... Yeah, it's sort of like... Whoops. Don't know what happened to my controls there. Just wouldn't move at all. I kind of feel like when we were obviously both sort of picking this up over the last sort of 3 months, it was kind of like somewhat an initial kind of excitement, or at least not dread, at kind of doing it. It's like, okay, yeah, let's give Carp another go. And then after maybe half an hour or so, which is about the time we've been going now, it's like, do we have to continue with this?
That initial time is just lesson and lesson. Point now where I'm hardly having any fun with it.
Okay. Whoa!
Oh.
Right, please be kind. Don't jump to the middle. Oh, why do I even say anything? Right, dash, dash, dash. You sod.
I'm saying, I'm just... Flip. Oh, I'm on the bad side.
Yeah. Seriously, you need to. That's what I tend to find this Bright and Shine kind of fun. It's the most fun, at least early on, past this phase in Dracula, I'd say. But if the bloody sun jumps to the moves to the middle, or jumps to the middle, and sort of ends up cornering you on the right hand side of the screen, and then the bloody moon comes down. It ends up being so claustrophobic. You have no room to be able to dodge whatever the moon's going to throw at you. And also, in the moon phase as well, the sun you could have seen it sort of does a sort of solar beam sort of attack where it just sort of does a huge beam right down to the ground. Again, if the moon is sort of in the middle and the sun and the sun sort of trapping you, so you haven't got much room to work in, and the sun sort of homes in on you to the point where it just leaves you with no room to dodge it because you're sort of trapped on the side of the screen, it is dang near impossible to avoid. So I feel like there's an element of good fortune that you need on Bright and Shine, where you need the bloody character on the ground to not be in the middle of the screen. And I can't even just believe that last go. I'm literally like, yeah, don't go to the middle of the screen. And what does he do? Literally first move, jumps to the middle of the screen.
I do feel like the worst attack, probably the bats and the dogs, just because it's the least predictable. Like, you can just generate some awful patterns with it. This is the second worst one for me, is this one.
Yeah, I think I tend to find the Meteor one personally more annoying, just because, again, arcing stuff. I hate arcing stuff, so... Right, please behave. Dash, please. Oh, really?
Oh, why am
I hate it when he's in the middle. I need more room to avoid the stars. Again, stars. If it wasn't, the stars weren't bad enough during this phase. It's the bloody moon shooting stars out at the beginning of Bright and Shine. Please just don't be in the middle. I don't want to tempt fate, but we seem to be doing better at the first phase. Oh. Yeah, the reason we kind of set a sort of a, if either of us sort of die before Bright and Shine, that we'll restart, is because it just takes a lot of sort of time to kill Dracula with only one of us. Bright and Shine also initially it's a lot harder to kill with, or it takes a lot longer with only one person as well. So that's why we sort of set it on that. Boshi is sort of, you only have sort of set times in which you can really kind of attack anyway, and it's not so bad. But yeah, Dracula and Bright and Shine, it's to start off both those fights with only one player is just, yeah, not the best. Terrible first move.
Fire,
From
fire, 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 fire.
Terrible, at least from my point of view, in that I want to see that last, not first.
That was horrible.
Oh, good grief. Come on. Come on, behave. Behave.
What are you going to do?
Thank you.
Right, what are you doing now? Hadouken? Stars. I hate the stars. That's a Hadouken. Oh. Right.
Okay.
Stars.
Dash, yes. Oh, good grief, no. Terrible. Terrible. Oh, he jumped. He jumped. Boomerang!
I didn't see it!
Oh, that was kind of annoying. 2, 3, 4, 5,
I hate the
6.
boomerang. It's such a flimsy little thing with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
At least at Hadouken you can see it coming. I suppose you can see the boomerang coming.
It's a bit deceptive. Sometimes it comes back. It doesn't sort of travel as far, and it can it can rebound back really quickly.
I didn't even see it going forward.
That was closer than I would have liked. Bloody hell. So now we have the breather section. And as I say...
Keep moving my mouse so I don't get my screen saying that.
And I will always, just stick to the left-hand side here. Obviously, in theory, if you looked over to the right-hand side, there could well be a lot more spikes that end up... I mean, it just seems random. So, but, from go to go, there could be a lot more spikes on the right-hand side that would give me more opportunity to hit him. But, again, if I moved over to the right-hand side, then who's to say that the blooming spikes wouldn't all come down on the left-hand side? So, I feel like it's not really worth bothering moving from side to side. Just, might as well just pick a side of the screen and roll with it. You'll get your chance eventually. Would have had more opportunity to hit him there if that second spike hadn't come down right below the other one I was about to jump on. Right. The one thing I'm worried about here is not getting my double jump. It's surprisingly easy to go too far forward off the platform and not get a double jump. But yeah, okay. And this one's fine. Just stand around where I am here. You'll avoid everything. The next one's this is just hit and miss. I don't know whether spam shooting or just trying to be a bit more careful is the best thing to do, but I hate trying to take these things out because the shots, they are incredibly hard to hit. They are just incredibly hard to hit. This phase always makes me nervous as well. Just, oh, good grief.
The music gets a bit more interesting, yeah.
Oh, I love the music for this. That's a big help. Just in terms of like keeping me pumped up and keeping me kind of focused. I need to be careful not to get too distracted by it. But why are you not dead? That went on way too long. Don't get hit by that. Oh my god! I thought that thing was going to come down a stupid angle. That first bit there again is... I really wish I hadn't died for that stupid laser beam. That felt really silly, but I felt like I just missed the platform, unfortunately. But that first bit of the second of the last phase as well, the angle at which those spinning things come at you can catch you off guard, and the bloody... I shouldn't get got by those swirling things that go round, the pellets that go round, because it should be obvious enough where the safe spots are there, but the angle at which that bloody spinning thing is going to be shot out at just makes me nervous all the time and brings me to do stupid things like I just did there. I am not happy about dying twice on the final phase. Absolutely atrocious pattern.
I knew it straight away.